Hi, I'm Robin Richardson. Welcome to my home. Thank you to Poetry London for inviting me to read. I'm going to read a few poems from Try Not to Get Too Attached, which came out this year with Book Hug. This is a book of poetry and art. I think it's pretty neat. And I believe Book Hug is selling them all indie books right now at a discounted price at their website. So it's usually $25, and I think you can get it for a bit less. The concept behind this book was actually to not really have a concept. The concept was to include works that only came from a place of kind of pure play and inspiration and non-intentionality, which is to say, I would find myself drawing something and it would be good and I would keep it. And these drawings have accumulated over the years. I don't consider myself to be a formal artist, but I love drawing and processing my experiences through drawings. And I feel the same way about poetry. So the poems in this book are scattered throughout. They are without titles and they're prose poems without punctuation. And a lot of them, if you know me or you work with me through Citadel, I teach a lot about the unconscious. I love Jung and Mary-Louise Onfranz and these like rich symbols and imagery that we can use to access our own inner lives. Because, you know, I know for me growing up, my dreams were a much more interesting and engaging and intelligent world than the waking world. Now they're merging. Now I feel like the waking world is as stimulating. But that's, to be honest, only in the last month with this isolation that I've been able to sort of see that. I think if for those of you who are lucky enough to be isolating alone right now, it's a really good opportunity to reach these really powerful realizations about how beautiful and interesting and meaningful life is. So I'm going to read the first poem from here. Now it's interesting, and I've said this before. I said this about Sit How You Want, which was a book about processing a lot of trauma and difficulty, and I don't relate to it in any way anymore. Which isn't to say it's not true. It's completely true of its time, and this is completely true of its time. And now there's something new that's completely true. But I haven't even gotten there yet, and I don't know how to express it yet. I think it'll be something more immediate than poetry, but I have some new poetry I'll share as well. It's exciting to change so rapidly and to grow so rapidly. So the first poem here, I went through my dream life and I went through my symbolism and I combed it for like images. So for instance, this first poem is just men in my dreams. Men has been the masculine way has always been something that I've used to challenge myself a lot, and something I've used to give myself a lot of contrast to make it harder for me to get to myself on purpose, because then when I get to myself, it's so sweet because I've had all these men saying, no. I did that. I brought them to say that. It's complicated, but I did. So this is a poem about my relationship, the men I create in my mind and in my life. All right. There's an old man playing with the eels he's about to eat. There's an old man striking his hand against a rod. His skin is coming off. His blood is in your eyes. His hand will be useless, all bone. He is doing this to punish you. There's a cliff no one else is willing to scale. Halfway to the top, there is a hole. And through the hole, you see a man, a king, a samurai slaughter his daughter. There is an old man who keeps some 1,000 fragile, brightly colored birds in 4-inch cages, wants to take you out to dinner. There's an old man wielding an axe. He wants your head. There's a man putting a gun in your hand and telling you to shoot, to kill. There's a man storming the restaurant. He has a gun. He is shooting randomly. He finds you, says, I need God to pay attention. There is a prehistoric lion eating a regular lion. You are at the bottom of the stairs. At the top is a train, and on the train you are cut repeatedly on the right arm with a blade held by a man. There is a black panther on top of you, in the largest room you've ever seen. You sweep the room, and once it's clean, it fills again with bees. There are horses with no skin. There's a man who is a slug who is stuck at the bottom of the stairs. There are unicorns in the nightclub who turn to men when you straddle them, who want to fuck you. There's a maggot in your leg. He says you have to kill the elephant using only a straw full of water. He said we had to get matching tattoos. He dressed up as Predator, and there were 5 of him in the theater at the top of the stairs. You were afraid to see the film. He distracted you from the important little girl. He keeps telling you it's okay when we know it isn't. He is pushing you around in a shopping cart. You get out and he breaks $1 in half, is angry. You don't care. Go outside and put on white fur, feel strong. He is plucking the hair from your temple. He is bending you over, is feeding you drugs, is obstructing your view of the sky. He left the record on for years. You had to stop it. And then this one is women. There's a congregation of old women. You're a drawing. You have a black crayon that leaves white marks. You are upset. Don't know how to draw with white. Say your drawing looks familiar. One of the old women tears it in half. Your crayon is a blessing you didn't recognize. There are women dancing hip hop in utopia. You're naked in a wave, underwater, fighting a woman who is you, who is stronger than you, who digs holes for people to gestate in during difficult transitions. You are crying because she is so powerful. You are trying to save a girl from the invisible, malignant force in her bedroom. You are trying to save a girl from her parents, trying to get all the people away from the burning village on a raft. Lose your thumb, trying to rescue babies, the boy with one arm, the girl with superpowers, the wave that is about to drown you, the train that is about to hit you, the smokestack that collapsed, the helicopter heading for the building, a volcano, a wrecking ball made of human bodies, a tank, a god who comes and kills, then brings you back to life to be his slave. You were afraid of the revolution, of the house on stilts, the bookshelf that nearly crushed you, and the too tight elevator with its unreliable ascending. Okay. I'm gonna read one new one. Please buy the book. It's neat. Okay. I've got a lot of copies because I thought I was gonna tour with these things. So one day if we can all see each other again, I can sell them to you directly. Okay. This poem was written after I went on holiday to the Dominican Republic, and I rented a little cottage and I invited someone, and it was this person. I was opening up, like, so emotionally open and feeling blissful and beautiful, and this person was so closed off, and it was the only person I had to speak to, really. And in that, like, not being able to express anything to this person or have any kind of intimacy or sharing, I, exploded even more inside myself. Which has, I think, a resonance with a bit of what's happening now. And it is called The Various Painful and Euphoric Distributions of Attention on a Beautiful Night in Guayacanes. It's in, I believe, 5 parts. 1. I wouldn't mind the way these legs carried this eye too far to see, and launched it out and on its back and floating like driftwood, hurricaned off insufficient shelter. I am no roof, no door. I am these waving bones, skin, cotton, and some perception, some boundless beating on the salt, the black, the numerous potentials, the fisherman with his motor and machete, lit like a diamond. Longing is impractical, I know, and yet I want to make me formless as it is. As I know we are, love, you were high, were stoic and centered with the other women in their nonchalance, the plastic Adirondacks. And you watched the fire. You worried, and I stopped being I, became the lot of you, the lapping up of persons on a planet made of misconceptions. See, the one with the big, beautiful breasts is you, and your form, its impenetrable ease is all of us, is I. As the eye drifts further out to sea, forgets itself, and all this having something to do with you. You're fixing the coffee, clearing the table, reading the book, breathing, so well-paced, something built to receive an eye like me. You made longing to a thing I used to look through, see the truth. You came eventually and stood concerned. I came to you and walked beside you, sopping and alive. You told the other women you pulled me out. You were a hero, and I sat in the sand by the fire in my cotton and bones and skin and love you went on talking. 2. Over-identification with the gecko, the crane, with Jose, who sweeps with his tight hug, the one that never would have ended had we not been human. What I mean is love. What I mean is all these facets of an asymptotic singular is please just hold me. Please, the fence is being painted, being decades up and falling, and the tide knows but says nothing. And that grain of sand, etc. The trash in which we saw both illness and a chance to care. I want to heal this place, you said. I want to heal some woman too, just not you. And I confess I felt celestial, my wings unlatched and strung up on the line, you shirtless in their shade, oblivious and stunning. And a crack in the center of the world, in the center of this island. In my chest, my few words and your even fewer. Who is the stingray? Who is the horizon? The acoustic songs played far too softly. Who is Jose? His foot on the firewood, my foot there too. Our sense of teamwork, our knuckles, now of fire, ants, our labor, our love of labor, our varied relationships to divinity. Through the lifting and the splitting of this wood, through its burning, who is the child, who is the morning, finds its embers smoking on the beach and drowns them in a fullness we are not yet. 3. The washing of the children's feet. Someone else's children. They're scattered to the rocks to dry like lizards, like glitches in the matrix. Shouldn't be this good. The itch, this running, this song so bright, this hand in the ocean, in the shell of an exile from some low-key hell in the heart of an angel named Fearful, named I'm just not sure. The lick of the world on the back of my neck, the finger of the world inside, as though the world knows one night stands, as though the world would somehow up and leave and send a smile some days later, as though it was scared too. It is scared. And the smile is a series of gestures, and the gestures spell help me, spell go away, spell jump in my ocean and die a little, and backstroke to the end of everything you know, and then just sink. And I'll hold you. And I did, and it did. And the people of the world all up and walked away. And the light of the world went softly up. And all the angels named Fearful, all the angels named Still, please hold me. All the averted eyes, the turned backs, the speechlessness, the cautious conclusion of bonding. And the light had no name. And the people of the world gave it a glance, and the love of the world flared up for a beat, then fell. And I fell, but different. I was in the sand again and digging, and the children dug too. And the buckets filled with water, filled with light, and our hole was a halo. And the halo was the world with all its hesitance and its beautiful mouth, which said nothing. 4. I am a bower bird. I built you this body, and then split it on a nail, and then built another body inside that, and you watched without watching, and you thanked me politely, and took the first body, and the second, and went inside with the coffee. Sat with the bodies, not really, looking at the bodies, handing them grains of this and that, handing them rum and a blueberry. And a quiet sentiment about how it's okay to be sad. And my bowerbird bodies lengthened to a lady's, but less so, but scuffed and broken on the building of a palace, made of please, 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 and also of the nails I split against again and again until a lovely, lonely, rusted fray, until tentacled and alien and wrapped around a pearl diver in a print on the wall of a man on acid who is changing his life. You are only a man in a chair on a beach by a house in the impression of stable, which, come on, love, that's a laugh. which because you believe it becomes a bird, but grounded and not losing your mind to the every damn thing, not lost at all. 5. It wasn't about you. It was abolishing itself on the rocks of a you-like shore. It was enjoying its crash, the crying on the floor, the spread legs, some drool, which was lovely in that it didn't ask permission. It was about the dawns of masturbation under the evenings of can't get close. The thing is about itself, its own experience of want. How spectacular the low gold moon too. The spectacular realization after the plane landed, after the sand cleared, from inside the luggage, the dead old woman buried, and her eye now up and like a child open. Perfect timing for you to hear my neighbors outside. Thank you. That is 1 minute over time, so I will end the recording and say I hope you hear lots of lovely poetry in this, and thank you again to Poetry London, and I hope you are all doing well out there. I promise you there's good stuff inside you. I promise you that. All right, take care.